Hey girl, welcome to Vlogmas day 13. So today I am kind of starting to catch something from my kids. So inspired by that, I'm going to be talking about giving our body what it needs. And this is definitely more of a challenge in the newborn stage, but also not impossible. And when I talk about giving our body what it needs, I'm really talking about rest. I'm really talking about things that will rejuvenate you and really just making sure that you're taken care of as the mom. And I think for me, like I talked about with my manicures, that is usually during nap time. But also, I am very, very serious about naps and sleep in general. So I've spent a lot of time like figuring out when my babies eat, coordinating that with when my toddlers go to sleep, and I've always been able to so far sync up when everybody takes a nap, at least one nap a day. As you like, when babies are taking more naps, not so much, but at least the one nap that my toddlers take, I make sure that the baby is also taking a nap at the same time so that I have time to rest and have to myself. And speaking of that, definitely with me feeling under the weather, that today is going to be a nap. So excuse me if I seem like that's what I'm looking forward to in this conversation, but that's just what it is today. Um, but I think that when I think about it, there are other ways that we can kind of get rest even if the kids are still up. And one of those things for me that I like to do, because I have a friend who I think her baby or her toddler, one of them only takes 30-minute naps. And so she doesn't have a lot of time. Oh, no. Her baby takes a 30-minute nap and her toddler doesn't nap at all. I know. I don't even want to think about it. But she did say that her toddler will play independently for 30 minutes. And so an idea I had for her, even with that, so that's one way that you can get a little bit of time, is to have your toddler play independently. But also, I was talking to her about sensory play. I feel like for my toddler, sensory play is something that will engage him for a good amount of time, where he won't be looking for me if I have him set up, my oldest toddler, if I have him set up with something like that, that will keep him engaged. And for the small baby, she said she doesn't necessarily mind the small baby being awake. But even for that, things that contain them, I was even saying for the small baby to do like sensory as well, like set them up at the high chair where they can't get into anything or get free, and have them do some kind of sensory play as well as an idea. Another thing that I have had to figure out how to do in a way that I don't mind. And we're talking about, if you want to figure out how to have more time to rest, how to have a little bit of time to yourself during the day, the thing that I've had to figure out is TV. And so very early on with my kids, I was very anti-TV. And obviously the pediatrician says for them not to have TV until 2 as well, which was easier when I had 2, because I think I was just like, nobody will watch TV. But as I've moved into 3 children, and my youngest one is 1.5, I'm a little bit more, I've had to figure out how I can make TV work for me. And one of those things, because I really, my kids watch like the Spideys and the, what else are they like? Camp Cretaceous, they're into dinosaurs. But I don't love the big flashy screens, and I know that that's not, like, I've read that that's not good for their development. But something that I found that I do like is there's a lady on YouTube that does like a movement show, if that makes sense. It's kind of like toddler exercise, but it has topics that they're interested in. So she's kind of teaching them, but they also have to stand up and do the activities. And so that's something I've really been enjoying and liking, because it doesn't feel like they're just mindlessly watching TV and having all of those quick movements. Another thing I've seen on social media is like the low stimulation shows. I haven't gotten into those just because I really just don't love introducing new shows to my kids. Um, I would prefer they watch as minimal TV as possible. However, if it's a day that I'm feeling under the weather, like today, like I will put on TV. Like I put on that movement show today because I just didn't have the energy to do school with them. I didn't have the energy to um, really endure the whining today just because I'm not at 100%. And so, yeah, that's something that I choose to do and use sparingly. Another thing I've gotten into a little bit has been podcasts for toddlers. And so they can kind of sit and listen to a show or an episode of something. And again, it's not all that flashing, it's not overstimulating for them. And they really seem to enjoy it when it's a topic that they are personally interested in. And so, all of that to say, even though this became, tips for keeping kids entertained when you want to break, it really has to do with giving your body rest when it needs rest and really listening to your body so that when there is a day that you're not feeling 100%, instead of you being in the day trying to function as if you're fine, you're able to be aware that you're not feeling 100% and be able to set up those things that I've talked about to help yourself, help your kids still have a good day without the effect of you not feeling 100% interfere with your ability to stay calm, your ability to be a relaxed mom, your ability to be a mom that it has ease and infuses ease into the home environment. As you know, that's something that I'm working on and is really important to me. And so that I don't end up losing it because I didn't realize I wasn't at 100%. I definitely appreciate that I was able to be aware enough to say, I'm starting to feel like I'm coming down with something, and I feel like you can even hear it now. And I'm going to let myself take it easy and let that be okay. I think sometimes we can buy into like, oh, TV is bad, and then just no TV when sometimes we need, I wouldn't say need, but sometimes it's helpful to use things like that when you need to use them. And really, I feel like if you're not okay, your kids are not going to be okay. Because I did that early on, I would feel like I needed something, some kind of relief, but it was like, oh, well, I said no TV, so there's no TV. A new thing I'm doing is if I change my mind, I change my mind, and that's okay. Like I might have said no TV, and obviously you would make the decision that's best for your family, but I might have said no TV, but actually I think TV would help me to stay sane, and ultimately that's going to help my kids have a better childhood experience. And so, yeah, all of that to say, make sure you're getting your rest, mama. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, and I'll see you tomorrow, girl. Bye.